All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning. We are here today. It is Tuesday. Oil is down. Chips are up. Hopes of de-escalation. So Pakistan reported significant progress in high-level Tehran talks. They said big progress per Pakistan's interior minister. They also said that there was constructive exchange with Iran's president Pezeshkian. The direct attacks between Iran and the U.S. have stopped, according to Munir. Pakistan says agent proxy attacks continue. And so we also had news that the U.S. mulling returning diplomats to Middle Eastern embassies this week, according to the New York Times. The New York Times also reported that the Trump administration does not anticipate a return to all hostilities. Qatar published supporting mediations, and U.S.-China agreed to boost AI collaboration. The key quote here is that the talks, this is from Iranian official told Al Jazeera, the talks with Pakistan Field Marshal Munir were very constructive with useful ideas exchanged. The visit was aimed at reviving Pakistan's role as mediator between Iran and the U.S. If you look at oil this morning, oil is down today, guys. Oil is down. Here's oil right here on the chart. Oil is down to 82.50s a barrel. Now, this is still high oil, obviously, but this is lower than we've seen the last week. Oil's back down a little bit today. SanDisk and MU have been bounced back a little bit after yesterday's big tech slump, tech slump ahead of NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. So we do have NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. We have GDP data, PCE inflation data tomorrow. We have NVIDIA earnings in the evening. We have GDP PCE at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. But markets are a little bit more optimistic. Yesterday, Bassett started his live stream an hour before everybody said it would start, so I wasn't able to stream it. But the broader signal this morning, I know people are going to be saying taco. I already know that's what they're going to be saying. And to be honest, I had to change my stream title. Yesterday, I scheduled it last night, and yesterday, oil was up. Chips were down. We had some, and then this morning I woke up and the exact opposite was here. We had chips up, oil down. NASDAQ's currently bouncing back. The president did just tweet recently as well. He said Iran is not paying large segments of their military and some other escalating things, but it didn't really move markets that much at all. Interesting nonetheless what's going on this morning, but oil down, NASDAQ up. I am in a trade right now, by the way, here. Let me find my trade. We bought the 200 exponential. I don't know if the tweet helped me out at all here, but we bought the 200 exponential. We're sitting in a little trade right now. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, yesterday Bassett did do his press conference. He titled it Operation Economic Outcast. In this press conference, he said they expanded sanctions on Iran directly in the core measures section. Secondary sanctions on countries dealing with Iran. Countries with Iran ties will be, quote, removed from the U.S. dollar system. He said they were going to sever every economic lifeline to Iran. The naval blockade continuation was confirmed, and the financial system exclusion for non-compliers. He said, again, the key quote, he's going to sever every economic lifeline to Iran. But they did stop short of imposing actual penalties, according to Reuters. Their sanctions, they're not imposed yet. They were announced but not imposed. And that is the market this morning. We do have the ADP weekly jobs report today. We'll get another look at jobs. Not really market moving, I don't think, but we'll cover it. But yeah. Again, maybe some evidence that some of this is actually working. Pezeshkian says we cannot continue this war forever. Iran says they're consulting a response to the U.S. offer. Direct U.S.-Iran attacks have stopped. Pakistan reporting significant progress and more. So maybe some de-escalation today. And we'll see what happens. Hello, chat. Good morning. Good morning. Hope you guys are doing good today. Let me say hello to everybody here. What's up? Zeke, Joe, Luke, Edson, Jonathan, Old Hack, Ashun, Ava, Bam Bam, Steve, Rooftops, Digital, Pew, Saza, Nick, Neon, Crypto Coffee, SPG, Fob, Farmer, Matthew, Craig, hello dude, Slumdog, Disciplined Futures Trader, hello, Shake and Bake, Cap, Brent, UE, Knights, ATT. Hard Felix, Wolf, Nick, Tatha, Palantir, Starchild, Jose, J Violet, Pew. I think I said Pew already, but what's up, dude? I'll give you 2 hellos. Dragos, Christian, Captain, Vegas, VA, Exotic American, Thor, Johnny Long, Johnny Hammers. We got a lot of Johnnies in the chat right now. What's up, G-Man? AI, Kava. Did I get everybody? Max, Maxime, CJ, Ryan, Stefan, FME. I think that's everybody here. Hello, guys. Good morning. Good morning. How you guys doing today? Zan. Sire. Man, shall I buy Bitcoin? Bitcoin today, guys. Look, I'm in this trade. I'm up about $200 already this morning. I'm going to take half off you. I think I probably should. Right? I bought the 200 exponential, and then we got this weird little wiggle right here. We got this big, like, oil kind of pop simultaneously. But I figure in a day of de-escalation, maybe it's time to buy the 200 exponential. So we did. Oil is continuing to fall down here. It's at 82.44 a barrel. So oil's still slumping down here. And chips are back up. Here's MU. MU up to 930. SanDisk up to 1550. SK Hynix up to 160. nvidia is green on the day as well. Still at 210. Still pulled back a lot. But it is up some today as well, guys. Good morning, good morning. They see me lurking, they hating. They're trying to see you lurking dirty. Kava, what's up, Bull Market? Nice to be with you. Thank you, Maxine. What's up, Mag? Or Mac? What's up, dude? Roble, what's up, dude? What's up, Max? How you doing, brother? I saw you in the Discord this morning. Hope you're doing good, man. Fred. Atman is your name? Okay, my bad, dude. I got you. Kurt, what's up, dude? Asian markets came online and pushed Bitcoin up to 81,000. Yeah, look at Bitcoin today. Bitcoin's one of the big stories here. Look at Bitcoin. Gold as well. But Bitcoin hit 81,200s this morning. It got over 80. It did not hold. I'm watching that $80 level pretty closely here. So we are watching that $80 price point pretty closely here. Gold, on the other hand, look at gold. Gold up to 46.96. That 4,700 level staring at us in gold here. Asian markets dropped some money into crypto last night. Stefan, VK, hello, man. What's up? RBT, good morning, fellas and girl. Who's the girl? Fellas and girl? All right, I'm going to cut the rest of this break even because it looks like we might have just got something here. Look at the NASDAQ. Pull it back mighty quickly here on the NASDAQ. I think it's probably time to cut that, no? Let me check news, but Italy is reportedly mulling a temporary tax break on diesel. I don't think that's moving things. Tesla is hiking Cybertruck prices by $5,000. President warned of Iran humanitarian crisis. He said it must be stopped now, end quote. He said this about 15 minutes ago. So we did have a Trump tweet this morning. It was kind of escalating, but we'll see. We'll see. Hey bros, what's up, Peak? John, nvidia earnings release might crash the market. It might. Maybe it does crash the market. Maybe it also surges the market. You don't really know. But maybe. We'll see. Probably J Violet maybe is who they're talking about. I'm assuming AMD. Yeah, let's take a look at AMD. We can look at it. Gold, pull it back though. Look at that $4,700 level on gold. AMD's up $467 a share. And the next few days is going to be really, 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 really interesting, chat. The next few days is the few days in markets. nvidia earnings tomorrow. GDP PCE tomorrow. Jackson Hole Friday. BLS benchmark revision Friday. In between that, we got jobless claims, which is calling, small news, but the next few days is going to be interesting. And I guess the question I have for you all today is, will we have a bullish or bearish few days? Will we have choppiness today? going into this because we got some big catalysts tomorrow. So we could have choppiness today, but look at gold. I'm watching that 4,700 level. NASDAQ is right back to the 200 exponential here, but let's see. To King, what do you think of Vor investing in Neo Clouds by the fear? What? IREN earnings Thursday. Yeah, we had Dick's earnings, Dick's Sporting Goods. Let me clarify. Today, they posted 353 EPS versus 376 expected. Revenue of 5.59 for Dick's DKS. They are down pretty significantly. So you can see Dick's Sporting Goods starting to dump here. Lower than expected EPS. Lower than expected revenue for Dick's. And so Dick's Sporting Goods on missing EPS and revenue is down a pretty sizable amount, down to 153s, was at 180s basically. So percentage-wise, this is not a small percentage drop. Visa finally looking like absolute profit margin beast it is. We don't really have any data today, not really. We have ADP data, weekly report on ADP. Last time it showed up basically flat at 9.5 thousand. We have building permits, I believe, and house price index data coming out at 9 a.m. We got Case-Shiller house price index. We also have CB consumer confidence at 10 and new home sales. None of these will probably move the market. Maybe consumer confidence, maybe big maybe the ADP weekly jobs report. But the only way the ADP weekly jobs report is really going to move anything is if it comes in like way under expected. Maybe we see some movement there. And that's at 8:15 market time. That's in 45 minutes. The NASDAQ is still holding the 200 exponential here. And this is where we bought the dip earlier. We made a little money. Luckily, we took some profit. Yeah, I mean, we can look at CoreWeave. I see somebody asking about Neo Clouds. We can look at CoreWeave. CoreWeave is up today as well. But CoreWeave has just been really volatile, man. This thing's dropped very large percentages over the last week or two. Was all the way up at 115s, almost 120s, back down under 90s right now. But the NASDAQ memory plays continue to bounce back. Again, I had to change the title of my stream this morning. I had to taco on my stream title because... Again, my original stream title was oil spikes, chips crash, and now chips are running and oil is down. All right. So it's one of those days where you wake up, you're like, shit, I gotta change my stream title, apparently. Yeah, I mean, we can look at IREN. I'm assuming they're doing okay with crypto rise, but I don't watch this stock a ton, to be honest. $40 seems like a level to pay attention to for IREN. We'll see. New stream title, psych. Yeah, hey. I'm the same, bro. Can't kick my vaping habit. I'm trying, dude. I'm trying. You know. Yesterday was the taco. What's up, Sorrel? How you doing, my friend? Come on, IREN. Come on, IREN. Bassett delivered the taco. Yeah, I mean, Bassett, look, I had an oil long going into the Bassett thing. And again, Bassett shocked me. I was checking to make sure it started at 2 p.m. And then I saw Reuters report and it was already started. Also, the president says the U.S. is giving serious consideration to changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America, and that we don't expect it doing much business with Ontario any longer. So that also came out today, but oil continues to fall this morning. Oil down to 82. Look at oil, man. And again, oil, just to recap. Pezeshkian says the war cannot continue to forever. And this is why oil is dropping, right? Not necessarily from that, but we had news from Al Jazeera that the talks with Pakistan Field Minister Munir were constructive, useful ideas exchanged. The visit was aimed at reviving Pakistan's role as a mediator between the U.S. and Iran. Iran's Rezai, I can't pronounce some of these names, said the U.S. must change its behavior and take practical actions regarding implementation of the terms of the MOU. So again, U.S. is mulling returning diplomats to the Middle Eastern embassies, and the New York Times reported that the Trump administration does not anticipate a return to all-out hostilities. Pakistan reported significant progress at high-level talks. Big progress per Pakistan's interior minister. And all of this is making oil drop. It's still elevated. It's still over $80 a barrel for WTI crude, but it is down overnight, obviously. So Jack Ma also buys HKD $600 million of Alibaba shares, signaling AI confidence, according to SCMP, citing sources. The Qatar foreign minister says U.S. sanctions on Iran are unilateral, and Qatar supports resolving the issue through mediation. Also, we got news earlier that the Treasury Secretary Bessent has reportedly formulated a plan that could escalate if the vigilantes continue to push up interest rates, according to New York Post. So, I said gold will pull back. Did you? Yeah, I mean, I'm watching 4,700 gold. Yesterday, it got up to 47.5s. It's pushing towards 5,000. Does gold break 5,000 in the next week or two? Let me know, chat. Does gold break 5,000 within the next week or two? Hey, John, is Nike a good buy in your opinion? I don't know, bro. It's down on the day. Shh. Don't remind me, dude. I mean, I'm just sitting in it. I'm not really selling it. It's not really down enough for me to sell it. No, yes, no. So, okay, we're asking people if gold breaks 5,000 in the next week. Some people say yes. We're pretty split down the middle. And that's a good question for the poll, I think, today. Do gold GC futures break 5K this week? Yes or no? Most people saying no. Very optimistic. Probably not this week. No, they're saying, yeah. Not this week, around mid-September, they say. Probably not this week. Yeah, let's see. I might trade some gold today. We've been trading a little bit earlier today. I should have held this bounce at the 200 exponential right here. I really should have. Because it would have worked really well. So I should have held that bounce, but hey, that's how it goes, I think. Easy after Labor Day, they're going to print like pumping. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of already are. We're not doing printing necessarily, but we're doing kind of stealth QE. And with all that said, I'm assuming yields are down today. Yeah, I'm assuming yields are down today. Just because oil is down. Yeah, oil's down. 2-year treasury yield's down. This more accurately looks at like Fed. Yeah, so oil has decreased on the lower oil prices here. Or yields have decreased on lower oil prices. We can take a look at 10-year yields to see where they're sitting. You can kind of see 10-year treasury yields are down. Let's take a look at 30-year yields as well. I believe they're down also. They're all going to be down today, just on lower oil. Yeah, here's 30-year yields. They are also down. Let's take a look at Fed rate expectations here. And remember, tomorrow is nvidia earnings. Do we have good reactions to nvidia earnings tomorrow? I think markets are incredibly strict. We're still at a 40% chance of a rate hike next meeting as of now. So 40% chance we raise rates next meeting. One of the levels I'm looking at on nvidia specifically is 210. We've held support around this 210 level on nvidia numerous times. So let's see if that 210 level holds. The NASDAQ has been bouncing at the 200 exponential. A lot of this is going to depend on chips and nvidia. But Gold breaks 5K this week, we might be in a recession. Hold bond prices. I mean, if you think yields are going to go down, Ben, regarding TLT, Ben's asking, do you hold TLT, which is bond prices? That's going to depend on whether you think inflation's going to settle. Maybe it's long term, so it's going to depend on a lot more things. These are long-term bonds with TLT, but a little treasury manipulation. Yeah, so again, whether you want to hold TLT is just going to be dependent on whether you think inflation is going to settle. If you think oil's going to settle, if you think the Fed might stimulate more, which they've given us some potential about, then maybe. NASDAQ, as I say this, is starting to rise here today. NASDAQ is bouncing at that 200 exponential moving average here. But indices are up. The S&P up 7,700s. The NASDAQ up 29.3s. The Dow is up 53.7s. So the Dow has been pumping a lot. Highs on the Dow are 55 roughly, or just under 55s at 54,884s. My accuracy's better in long-term trades, Jack. For sure. I'll have to go see which one I make more of, but my accuracy is definitely better in long-term. But that's going to be the case with almost everything. Like, in almost everything, your accuracy is going to be better in long-term investing. Why? Because it's pretty easy to make money in long-term investing. You buy and you sit. You buy and you sit. Yeah, so you buy and you wait on long-term investing. Day trading, the accuracy is much less, but still, I mean, I think we made money yesterday day trading. We made money and then we got into that oil trade and got stopped out. So, yeah, I'll have to look. I think we probably ended the day yesterday close to break even, just based off of, but we're green today. Yesterday, let me see, did we make money? We did make money yesterday. But it was basically break even. We ran pretty good accuracy though. Ran 73% accuracy roughly yesterday. So we made money yesterday, but we did take a long in oil ahead of Bessett's economic isolation plan debut. And oil ended up going down on it, so we got stopped out. But it was a very small trade, and you know. Got it, then why do you still do day trading? Why not do both, dude? Yeah, why not just do both? You know? Why do I day trade? Because I like doing it. And because, I mean, we still make money doing it. And I like doing both. Scary news today? I mean, define scary. Not really scary news, no. I would say more optimistic news than anything today. Because he loves us. Only you, farmer. Only you. Top 10 asset managers in the U.S. hold 55 trillion in AUM. Do me a favor, guys. Can I give a like goal? I know it lets me give a super chat goal. 10 super chats? No, I'm not going to do that to y'all. I can give a super chat goal and try to, you know, milk money from you guys. But I think I'm just not going to do it. If they gave me a like goal, I'd do that. But I can give myself a like goal. Let's get 200 likes in the next 30 minutes. Why is September always a slow to red trading month? I'm not sure. I think it's called the September slump is what the nickname is for September. But one of the things I always try to tell people is that you never freaking know how a month is going to be. Like, you don't know if a month is going to be good, bad. You don't know what the month is going to look like. Like, markets, again, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes, Mark Twain said. And so sometimes we obviously go down in September. That's why it's known as the September slump. It's one of the, like, I think some of it is just self-fulfilling as well. If you look at, some of the average gains in the S&P 500 per month, September's one of the worst ones here. So like this one is by Yahoo, I think Yahoo Research. Let me see who did this one. Yardini Research did this one. Generally speaking, September is a negative month, but this is general. You know, like again, people are like, oh, you know, I could say generally, you know, anything, and somebody's gonna say, well, nah, bro. I could say generally, you know, people have dark hair, and then somebody could say, nah, bro, you know, my aunt, sister's cousin's mom has light hair. That's why I said generally. But generally, September is a red month. Averages negative 1.17% as of Yardini Research up to 2023. So generally, September's a bad month. The other bad months are May and potentially February. Usually, I would say the most consistent months are the winter months. October, November, December, and January are the most consistent. If you look at January over here. So again, the fall months, maybe it has to do with like retail sales, like holiday spending, like all that stuff, probably boosting things those months. But generally, the last 3 months of the year are the most optimistic, most bullish for markets, you know. But again, generally, we have had some bad, like most of the time, crashes happen in October. So you got Black Monday, you got all the big crashes. Most of the time, they start in October. So generally, yes, but it's general. April tends to be good. What's up, AT? How you doing, dude? I hit like number 7. Wake me up when September ends. Top of the morning, John. Let's get it. What's up, AT? How you doing, dude? Liked. Hey, thank you, Wealth and Travel. Thank you, brother. Smash that like for John. Thank you, Jay Violet. So NVIDIA tomorrow, I'm showing like there's a couple different reports you could look at regarding NVIDIA here. Right? Like you could look at the actual expectations. I like to look at the whisper numbers. They're usually a little bit more accurate. NVIDIA expected tomorrow at 209 EPS per share on 91.71 billion in revenue. So 209 a share on 91.71 billion in revenue is what's expected for NVIDIA tomorrow. Salesforce also reports at 4 o'clock. CrowdStrike also drops after the closing bell tomorrow. So we got big 3, Salesforce, CrowdStrike, and then the big boy NVIDIA tomorrow. Oil continues to fall here, though, this morning as I'm looking at it here, though. Here's oil. Oil's down to $82 a barrel here. Let's watch that 82 level, but look at oil. Oil continues to fall down some this morning. So I'm seeing news that Pakistan's interior minister met with U.S. charge d'affaires in Pakistan hours after returning from Iran. Again, the Iran foreign minister welcomes the Omani counterpart. And again, so we're seeing news that Iran and Omani foreign ministers hold talks in Tehran. We're also seeing news that from Goldman Sachs that Bessett's bond gambit could trigger a short squeeze. Treasury yield surged with 30 years hitting 5.34%. 19-year highs. Bessett expanded bond buybacks could potentially trigger forced short covering, driving yields lower. Goldman estimates a strong rally could generate about 150 million of buying from trend following strategies. Such a squeeze could boost stocks, real estate, long duration bonds, though persistent inflation remains a risk, according to Goldman Sachs. And look at oil. Oil just broke lows of the day this morning after probably the news about Iran and Omani foreign ministers are holding talks in Tehran, according to Fars News. But look at oil fall down, $82 a barrel right now for oil. So oil continues to dip here a little bit this morning. July is the second best month, and it was red this year. September last year was good. There's some inconsistencies with seasonality. Yeah, for sure. It's all general. I love finding out how much money NVIDIA has given NVIDIA. It's a big day. Hey, it's definitely a big day. My thoughts are I'm in a happy mofo because I divested my whole Bitcoin the other day. Sarcasm, maybe. You got out of Bitcoin the other day? Oil now under $82 a barrel. At least it was just now. But look at oil dip. Hey, what's up, Cho? How you doing, dude? Bitcoin going down. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing oil fall. Bitcoin hit 81,200s this morning. Let's watch 79,000 on Bitcoin, though. Here's Bitcoin right here. 79K is right here. It's been historical support. We have bounced off of that level numerous different times this morning. And so, yeah, Bitcoin pulling back, but still up. I mean, you got to remember, this thing was at 60s, you know, not that long ago. So it's still doing well. It's still doing better than it was, of course. And so far already, we've got 144 likes. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Appreciate the likes. Let's get 200 in the next 15 minutes. Buy CrowdStrike after the earnings dip. Hey, what's up, Jay? How you doing, dude? Interesting fact. Rumors around that Sir Buffett sold everything and he's holding cash. He's not. He's holding loads of short-term treasury bills. What's the news on Iran? The news on Iran are essentially potential de-escalation. Pakistan reported significant progress at high-level Tehran talks. Big progress, according to Pakistan's interior minister. Direct attacks between U.S. and Iran have stopped, according to Munir. Pakistan says agent proxy attacks continue. U.S. is mulling returning diplomats to the Middle Eastern embassies this week, according to the New York Times. And they also reported that the Trump administration does not anticipate a return to all-out hostilities. Qatar publicly supporting the mediation and more. So potential de-escalation here, but look at the Nasdaq continue to rise. I should have held that 200 exponential trade, but the Nasdaq is starting to rise back up on de-escalation hopes. We're kind of back and forth with this though, but oil is continuing to fall this morning as well. Look at oil. Oil cracked lows, broke under $82 a barrel for WTI crude, and continues to fall this morning. Hey, what's up, Ty the Fly? Bitcoin is a joke. Do you like Bitcoin? Yes or no? Hey, thank you, Alex. Do you like Bitcoin, guys? We are too close to quantum computing for Bitcoin to be safe. Wait for an escalatory tweet soon? Yeah, maybe, bro. Maybe. We already got some tweets this morning. Most of them were not... I mean, one of them was escalating. Not super escalating. It didn't really move it like that. But President is considering changing the name of Lake Ontario to Lake America. And we had some other stuff, but nothing really crazy today yet. Nothing too crazy. I'm seeing news by some crypto analysts. Is this tagged, or is this just showing me this just for a reason here? Let me see if this was tweeted. Reposts, no. So it looks like it's just showing me. But yeah, they're saying Bitcoin's going to be battling 80,000 now, apparently. Again, Bitcoin's pushing to 80K, reached 81K. Again, though, apparently 77% of Bitcoin's liquidations are still shorts. 269 million shorts versus 83 million longs. Could be a short squeeze. But obviously, as we saw this morning on Bitcoin, 81s, 80,000 could be a resistance level here. We're under 80 now. Here's 80K right here. So it could be a resistance level. Let's see if oil continues to drop this morning, because we are falling down in oil today. What's the purpose of Bitcoin? What's the purpose of PayPal, Mike? Does PayPal have value? You know? John, so if you were in the gambling business right now, would you buy calls or puts, bro, on nvidia? Ugh, don't ask me that question, brother. Don't ask me that question. I don't know, dude. What's the time frame? Short-term time frame based off of earnings? I guess I would buy it. I'd rather go bullish than bearish in nvidia. Like, if I had to buy, I'd buy calls. I'd rather go bullish, but I don't think there's a lot of edge either. Because I think even if nvidia beats and raises, you know, there still might be fears going on with it, right? Even if nvidia beats and raises, it doesn't necessarily mean it's going up. I mean, if they're long-term calls, sure, I'd rather buy. But I don't think there's that much edge around earnings. I think earnings is just really, you know. All right, so I see an Indian AI infrastructure firm apparently has called AM Intelligence has reportedly ordered 9,000 NVIDIA Vera Rubin systems, according to reports. But if you had to buy calls or puts ahead of NVIDIA earnings, what would you guys buy? Calls or puts right now ahead of NVIDIA earnings? What do you guys think? Let's hear the chat's answer. It's going to be better than mine, probably. Stocks, metal, crypto, bonds. If it has great earnings, it will not go up much. If it has bad earnings, it will easily drop 25%. 100%, that's the dynamic. But the part of it, though, is that, like, look, you were right. If it beat and raises, it doesn't necessarily go up. But if it misses, it falls down. But the percentage chance that it misses earnings is very, very low. Very, very low. Right? And that's why it's hard to figure out. Because the percentage likelihood that NVIDIA misses is very, very low. Very, very low. All right, so I asked people calls or puts. We got a lot of answers in chat right now. Let's see. I see calls, puts, calls. Where they always drop on earnings, even if they solved all problems, it would go down 2%. Yeah, I mean, maybe, dude. Calls, puts, guidance. Yeah. I mean, they're expected to beat and raise. I mean, that's probably what's going to happen. Bro, last night was kind of a scary night. I had to take some Benadryl. I was taking one of those peptides, you know, like BPC or whatever it was, dude. And I took it. And, bro, my whole abdomen got hives and, like, swole up. Super red. Very strange. And this is not the first time I've taken it. I've been taking it for the last year or so to help heal my knee. But, dude, my whole freaking abdomen swole up. It was weird. Took Benadryl immediately. But very scary. Very scary. So if I'm a little bit tired today, it's because I took Benadryl last night. Honestly, I slept pretty good on the Benadryl, though. I slept pretty good, but man, freaked me out, dude. You know, I had to wait a little while, but freaked me out. Yeah, that's the one, bull market. But yeah, that freaked me out. Us the barbecue. Hasn't had it usually run up. Maybe NVIDIA doesn't sell off this time. I'm hoping it doesn't, bro. It's a big day, though. We'll see what happens. But I'm hoping it doesn't sell off. I want NVIDIA to go up. I'm in NVIDIA, obviously. I bought NVIDIA around 190s. And I'm in NVIDIA right now. I want NVIDIA to go up. The trade's doing well so far. Maybe I should have taken some profit a little bit more on the upside, but... but I'm hoping it goes up. I'm in it. I'm in it under 200. And so I'm hoping this thing runs tomorrow, but we'll see. So I guess my bias is bullish, but who knows, man. NVIDIA at 210s. Oil still falling down a little bit this morning, though. NASDAQ still moving up ahead of the, you know, I should have held that 200 exponential. This 29,400s are in a scary spot for buyers. I'd be hands off up from here. All these years in trading, and you bought NVIDIA at 190s? Yes, I did. But I've been in and out of NVIDIA for the last few years. I'm also investing in it. But oil to the 70s today? I don't know about the 70s, bro. I mean, we're not that far away from the 70s in oil. We could hold it. NVIDIA needs to boot. Oil is falling on more optimism around de-escalation in the Middle East. Bessett's economic isolation plan wasn't, you know, we didn't put actual, we put sanctions, but we didn't, like, we haven't followed through with them yet is part of it. So, like, part of the, I mean, oil is down today on a lot of different things, but mostly because it's looking more optimistic in the Middle East. We'll see if crypto holds. Again, we had the Omani FM visit Tehran today. Pakistan's army chief spoke with president before the trip and met with Iranian officials Monday. Iran negotiator Ghalibaf mentioned Islamabad MOU implies negotiation framework is still active. Besset didn't actually do any penalties yet. We have you know, the isolation plan was announced, but we didn't actually enforce any of the penalties yet. Bessett's line saying getting Iran back to the negotiation table. So we just have a little rhetoric that is de-escalating so far in the Middle East right now. And look at nvidia here pushing up. So here's nvidia up to 210s. Let's see if we hold. What's up, Anthony? Do you have any long-term investments? Yes. Yeah, we do. Of course we do. nvidia got to show revenue from Bear Rubin or it's a wrap. Yeah, for sure. Just in time for Jackson Hole. Yeah, look, we got a lot of things going on. Friday, Jackson Hole Symposium. At the same time, Warsh is supposed to do his keynote at 10 a.m. on Friday, Eastern time. We have a BLS revision drop right at 10 a.m. on Friday. So we got BLS revision data at 10, and we got Kevin Warsh doing Jackson Hole Symposium at 10. So be careful on Friday. We might have some NVIDIA movement after NVIDIA earnings today or tomorrow. But just be careful, guys. Be careful. If you had to choose an asset to hold for 30 years, what would you choose? I gotta only pick one? Probably NVIDIA, dude. NVIDIA, maybe you could argue gold. Gold may be a little bit more diversified outside of AI, and obviously that's good. But I like Bitcoin a lot as well. Over 30 years, I think all of those are going to be doing really well in a 30-year period. And you know, you want to be safe, you can go with like S&P, NASDAQ. You know, those are going to make crazy gains over the next 30 years. But yeah. I mean, NVIDIA maybe the NASDAQ, maybe gold, maybe Bitcoin. I don't like just picking one. Another question is, does Warsh give out any forward guidance on Friday? Will Warsh be hawkish or dovish on Friday? I think there's an argument to neither. Maybe he's not going to give us any forward guidance tomorrow. We'll see. Or Friday. Anything can happen. Not a single company stock. Yeah, I mean, maybe diversifying into something. But I think gold and NVIDIA are going to be doing really well long-term. Real estate investment trusts. NVIDIA for sure, because they also profit heavily from robotics. Yeah, I mean, that's very true. And robotics is going to be the next thing, I think. I mean, it already is a thing, but, you know, just looking at the evolution of technology, robotics is the next thing. You know, they're going to implant AI into robots like they're already doing, and that's going to get better and better and better at the same time that AI gets better and better and better. And then with that, we're going to have some pretty fancy robots in 20 years, 15 years. Probably earlier than that, really. We also see that Cisco is expanding the secure AI factory with NVIDIA through a partnership with Supermicro. How worried about you about the possibility of the dollar getting crushed as the world currency? I'm not super worried. I mean, there's a lot of reasons I'm not incredibly worried. Specifically just because, you know, the US does what it has to do to keep the dollar the king. You know, and it'll go to extensive depths to do that. So I'm not super worried, to be honest. I think the US is going to do what it has to do, but it's definitely a risk. It's definitely a risk. The answer is VU. Yeah, I mean, that's the S&P. S&P diversified. It's a slow process. Yeah, I mean, including that type of thing too, Jay. Yeah. Long term, I'd be worried. It's a slow process. Yeah, I mean, let's see. Again, will Warsh be hawkish or dovish? What do you guys think? Did you guys answer this? No, he will not. He said he will not give forward guidance. Warsh will spend a whole lot of nothing. McDonald's. Bro, I had McDonald's fries for the first time in 8-9 years. A few weeks ago. Oh, dude, they were good. They were good. You know, I think they were better because my wife is so against fast food, right? So we never get to eat it. So it was like the forbidden fruit. It was like, I know I'm not supposed to eat these fries, but I'm eating them anyway, and they are delicious, you know. Gold started to dip down, though. Gold under 4,700s. It hasn't really been able to break 4,700s. Gold, yeah, look at gold fall. Is Bitcoin falling simultaneously? Let's see. Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin's dipping down. It's right at 79K, though. So Bitcoin and gold starting to pull back a little bit. Look at gold down under the 200 exponential. I don't hate a short if we bounce on gold. Ask for well done. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably true. Check. Yeah, look at gold here. So gold is down under the 200 exponential now. Let's see if we can take some trades this morning. We are green. We made a little money buying the NASDAQ earlier. NASDAQ is starting to pump up a little bit, though. Look at the NASDAQ jump. Is this news? Hold on. We do have the ADP data coming out. Hold on. Is this news? I don't know if it is or not. I don't think so, but... Cisco expands secure AI factory with nvidia. SuperX gets 38.8 million B300 server order. Google Cloud launches Gemini Enterprise for legal. I think this is nvidia making markets jump a little bit here, maybe on some of this Cisco news. But we do have the weekly jobs report going live in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Best fast food burger. I'm gonna go with Five Guys. I get it from a bunch of different sources. Basketball. Are you a gold bot? You keep spamming gold. Who? Who's done it? Who's doing it? Are you talking about me? Yeah, I mean, gold did move pretty quickly here. This is what Max is talking about. You know, we did fall under 4,700s. Bitcoin also technically went red on the day. Look at Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin is falling down simultaneously. Here's the previous closing price on Bitcoin. Bitcoin just broke underneath that. So John's owned by Big Gold. They can own me, you know. But look at gold and Bitcoin fall down here. Where do I sign up for that? Here's gold right now too. I was thinking about shorting a little pop in gold, though. Did I miss the gold short here? I might have. I was thinking about shorting the 200 exponential. It's kind of so back and forth here today, though. No, I don't do that, Chris. That's blasphemy, bro. Cisco expanding secure AI factory with nvidia. Alright, so I am shorting gold here. We'll see what happens. We're under the 200 EMA. I want to see if that level props us down. Small gold trade, but let's see what happens here on gold. Bitcoin down to 78,790s here right now. And again, the ADP data drops in about 8 minutes. 8 minutes. Alright, there we go. We got a little movement here. That's good. Okay. We'll give it some time, though. But Bitcoin continues to fall quickly. 78,700 now on Bitcoin. Under 79,000 now. Is barking a barking right now? I don't see anything.
Love you, Daddy.
Hey, buddy. Love you, Bo.
Love you.
Have a good day, dude. Alright, so I am in gold short. Oil is still under $82 a barrel though. Would be great if software as a service didn't drop when tech runs. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing an inverse dynamic with those, though. Like SaaS companies, software in general goes down when AI names go up. It's just what we've seen over the past few months. What's up, LV? Morning neutral today, hands off. All right, let's see if we hold. We're under 4,700s. A1 is buns? Dude, my daughter likes to use buns. I don't know if it's a cool thing to say. Is that like a thing now? Like saying something's buns? Like oil is buns right now? Is that a thing? Yeah, I mean, it's just rotation. Time to get into long-term bonds? I don't know, bro. If jobs are bad. Yeah, jobs are starting to pull back here. And again, ADP data coming out in 5 minutes. Buns, like hamburger buns, but just buns. All right, here's gold. We're in gold short. It's not really moving much. I mean, ADP data is not that late. It usually comes out when it should. I mean, we at least get reports of it coming out. I'm in a gold short right now, though. So in theory, you know, weak jobs should help gold go up. More dovishness. But it's definitely not an easy bet. But we are in gold ahead of this ADP data coming out. We are green, but it's not very big. We had a big breakdown. I'm trying to piggyback off of that big breakdown in gold. See if we continue at least a little bit back down here. And it looks weak, but it is gold, so it can go back and forth. All right, guys. ADP data in 4 minutes. Buns is old school? Yeah. Buns means bad, according to my daughter. Yeah, that's what my daughter uses it in the same context. Oh no! All right, I'm gonna get out of this immediately here. It might just fake me out. We're basically flat on the day now. Actually, we're a little green. But gold just jumped. So did Bitcoin here. Look at gold. All right, the ADP data drops in about 2 minutes. Any important news today? I mean, we don't know if we're going to get news. Gold is actually starting to pop back here. Look at gold. Bitcoin is as well. Bitcoin technically green on the day now. Shall we short the NASDAQ? I don't know. All right, guys. ADP data releases in about 3 minutes here. 3 minutes. Let's wait for it. I don't know if it's going to move markets. The only way it is if we have like big miss or big beats, I guess. Beats might negatively impact the market, I think. Look at the NASDAQ move some here as well. NASDAQ just rebounded back up here. Oil just spiked, though. Let's see. Hold on. Maybe spike is a strong word. Gotta check True Social here, though. President said, I mean, this is earlier. He said, I would never interfere with Canadians speaking French. In fact, I've never even thought of doing such a thing. That slide was made up, but no. Yeah, so, but oil just jumped up a little bit here. Look at oil. I don't think it was, that tweet was like 40 minutes ago, so But oil did just jump some. All right, two minutes until ADP data. After the U.S. market is going to pump the heck out of crypto after seeing what Asian market did. Maybe. Yeah, the Kospi overnight did what? Oh, look at gold still bounce. Kospi had a pretty good day. I mean, it's not a... I mean, it's up 0.7%. So, it's not like a big 3 or 4% bit, like, you know, gain here. But... Russia reportedly could extend the diesel export ban to September, according to sources. And look at oil jump. So here's oil right here. Maybe the Russia diesel ban news. All right, guys. ADP data releases in 1 minute. 1 minute. What's up, Leo? Yeah, here's oil. Here's the S&P this morning. 7,700s on the S&P. Here's the NASDAQ. NASDAQ's in a very flat range, though. Here's the ADP data, 25 seconds here. Kospi. K-O-S-P-I. It's the Kospi. It's the South Korean index. It includes SK Hynix and Samsung. Big driver of memory prices. And big read on memory prices as well. It's up slightly overnight. 0.6. All right, here's the ADP data. 3, 2, 1. And here's the ADP data. I don't see anything yet. Wait for it. Usually the ADP data comes in flat, to be honest. Like, relatively flat. Nothing crazy. I don't see anything yet on the ADP report, though. Still waiting. A little late, like always. But we'll get some updates on it pretty soon. On ADP. 381s. NASDAQ hasn't really moved yet. Still waiting on the ADP report. Last time was 9.5 thousand. A little slow to get it today, though. Okay, ADP 11.75 thousand. A little bit stronger than previously. 11.75K versus 9.5K previously. It's still relatively flat, though. I don't think this is market moving, like I said. Here is the ADP data on the screen right now. We'll put it up, but I don't think this is really market moving like that. But there's the ADP report right here. We'll put it up. Again, I don't think it's market moving, but there it is right there, 11.75K for ADP employment. These beats go hard. That's all I know, bro. That's all I know. Bitcoin over 2%. Yeah, Bitcoin hit 82. Oh, wait, didn't it hit 80? Yeah, it hit 81 twos. NASDAQ is still showing some strength, though. Here's highs of the day up here at 420. Yeah, so Rescale expands cloud ecosystem with CoreWeave for engineering and AI workloads. I mean, I've looked at yields already this morning. Yields are mostly down on lower oil prices today. So 2-year, 10-year, 30-year, all pretty down. All pretty down. Yeah, the chat's favorite number, apparently. Let's watch this 29,400 level. But look at the NASDAQ start to rise here. NASDAQ is moving here. Whoa. I don't think the ADP data is doing this, but it could. Watch 400 right here. 400 seems to be a level right here. So NASDAQ's starting to rise some right now. Look at the NASDAQ push. Maybe it's ADP data, I don't know. But NASDAQ is starting to rise. We're at 400 plus now. 401s. We got these isolated highs of the day up here. But the NASDAQ is starting to go up a little bit here, chat. Rate hike odds are basically the same as where they were yesterday. But, yeah, I don't see any news. Maybe the ADP data. I mean, jobs were slightly stronger than expected, but this shouldn't do it. I don't think. Got up to 405 before rejecting here. I'm tempted to buy a dip right now. But the NASDAQ getting closer to those highs of the day here. Let's see if it holds. Maybe some optimism ahead of NVIDIA earnings. Could be rotation. NVIDIA is starting to move up. It's at 211.30s right now. But there's the NASDAQ still getting up there. We got the previous high of the day at 425, basically. I'm tempted to buy, but it also feels a little greedy right here, no? Buy the dip, they said. I keep buying and I keep dipping. ADP is doing what the bond buybacks couldn't. I mean, the ADP data should, in theory, like, we were higher than last time for jobs, stronger for jobs. It should push yields a little bit higher. But I don't think it's like a big enough thing to really move them at all, to be honest. Especially with, it's still relatively flat data. Like, here's 30-year yields. They're definitely not moving from this. We could look at 2-year yields, but yeah, I just don't know if the ADP data is really going to move things like that. It's just not a big enough beat or miss to really drive any type of big significant movement, in my opinion. You got out too soon on gold. I definitely did, brother. I definitely did. That's all right. We were shorting gold, right? Oh, yeah, we should have shorted that. Look at that drop on gold. The thing about gold is that it can trend a little bit better than some of these other like more assets that we trade, like the NASDAQ and the S&P. Like, gold can trend longer, I guess is the easier way to put it. And so gold can stay in a trend longer, a more consistent, easy to gauge trend versus other things. As I say this though, look at gold. So gold just popped back higher here. Maybe we're still in this trend. NASDAQ is now starting to pull. Thesis ruined? Not really. I mean, it got pushed right back down there for gold. It got up to the 200 exponential and then dived right back down here. So I don't know what's moving gold right now. I gotta be careful trading gold just because it moves a little bit back and forth. Buy or sell gold right now, chat? What do you guys think? Ancient history question. What were you doing in the GameStop saga? I was streaming it. That's really where my channel started getting some attention, is the GameStop thing. Pump and dump. Buy gold. Sell gold. Gold green candle faded. Buy, buy, buy. Yeah, I mean, a long term, obviously we're in an upward trend for gold. Sell, sell. What's gold? I don't even know what gold is, bro. Yeah. Gold's hard to gauge here, though. Sell. Neither at this level. Wait for a better entry. Yeah, I mean, we got that big pullback this morning here. You could try to piggyback off of that. That's what I mostly tried to do today, but it hasn't been easy. Dollar cost average into gold. Bitcoin back red on the day, technically. I don't know if we're lagging here, but yeah, Nike's down specifically because Dick's Sporting Goods came out with bad numbers. Dick's missed EPS and revenue. And so Dick's Sporting Goods, even though it's a competitor, it's still the sector overall. So like Dick's Sporting Goods dropped a lot, missed EPS and revenue. We covered it this morning, but Dick's posted 353 EPS versus 376 expected. I love you.
Love you.
Have a good day. Yeah, so Dick's Sporting Goods missed EPS and revenue. And it just negatively impacted the whole sector. Nike's down on it. Here's nvidia though. Nvidia up to 211s. I'm still watching that 210 level on nvidia though here. Gold's trying to flush out weak hands. Yeah, I mean, the lows of the day in gold are way down there at 46.70s, though, so we still got some time before we hit the Asian lows. In my opinion, though. I'm tempted to short gold here, to be honest. Alright. Almost 8:30. I don't think we have anything big. I think we might have, like... I don't know. We might have some movement here. Let's see. I mean, long term, I still like Nike. The chat messes with me about it, but that's okay. That's what I'm here for. Release your aggressions. I did short gold here, though. Let's see what happens. I am short gold. Very small. I'll add to it if it goes in my favor here, but it is still breaking down. Hey, bud.
Oh, I already said
Here,
bye.
dude. You got to give me another hug now, bro.
I already said bye.
I love you, dude. Have a good day, man. My second hug from my son. A rarity. A rarity.
Your mama told me to say
I know, you're good, buddy. Love you, dude. Have a good day, man. Alright, so we are in gold short. I'm going to take half of this off. Let's see what happens. Nike a long-term hold. Yeah, I'm in Nike long-term, but who knows what it's going to do. It's such a small position, though. The chat acts like I bet the house on Nike, and that's not what happened. So, you know. We'll show those Nike Bears. It may take 5 years, but we'll show them. That's how I feel, Farmer. That's how I feel. Iran oil production is in a favorable condition, according to IRNA. I don't think the Dow's boring. I think it all just shows different markets. Dow less tech-centered. S&P diversified. Nasdaq's tech. Mostly. I mean, obviously, it's other things as well, right? The chat just wants to say you're wrong. Definitely. That's absolutely true. Let's see what happens with gold here. Red or green today? No idea. No idea. What do you guys think? Red or green? Do we have red or green action today? It's ahead of nvidia earnings, so I think there's an argument for just choppiness and flat action here. I'm going to stay in this gold short. I'll cover it if it breaks over here. We only got one contract left. We took a little bit off, so we'll sit on this. I don't know if Bitcoin's crashing. It's definitely down, though. Bitcoin just cracked that low of the day again. 78,700 now. Orange, green, green. We don't have any 830 reports today, no. No 830 data. I mean, we have... Wait, yeah, we don't have any 830. We got Case-Shiller house price data. We got new home sales and CV consumer confidence after 830. But nothing at 830 specifically here. Here's Bitcoin still falling, though. Look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin went red on the day. It's at 78,600s now. Chop? I think chop's fair. I think that's a reasonable bet. It's just choppiness. Alright, so we're still in gold, but it's very small. Maybe I'll add to it. I bought Bitcoin at 80K. FML. Gonna sell now. Hey, good luck, dude. Again, Iran oil production is in a favorable condition according to ISNA. Of course it is, you know? I mean, what I mean is, of course they're going to say that. Yeah, we're going to stream tomorrow earnings for sure. I have no idea where support is on Bitcoin. Bitcoin gurus sound like astrology to you? Astrology. I don't know. I'm not, like, look. I don't believe in it. And I've said it once, I'll say it again. The only way astrology is true is if we're in a simulation. Like basing people's personalities off of the day they're born. Sounds like a simulation. Or the month they're born. Sounds pretty simulation-y to me. No? That's the only way astrology would be true. Outside of that, I can't really find an argument for it being true. You know, maybe I just don't understand it. It's just not my cup of tea. I think a lot of it is confirmation bias. Like people want to believe there's certain ways. You know, it's kind of like horoscopes. Oil's dipping down some here, though. CPI is not tomorrow. PCE, inflation, and GDP is tomorrow. So we got some stuff tomorrow, but nvidia at 211s right now. That's right. Astrology is the VWAP of the stars. Yeah. I don't know though, dude. Like, let me see. I'm in a Aquarius. Let's see, Aquarius traits. Tell me if this is me. All right. Independent, mysterious, free-spirited, eccentric, with a fine sense of humor and a strange inability to stay consistent and present. Is that me? Aquarius is undoubtedly the most innovative, progressive, rebellious, and humanitarian. John the humanitarian. I don't know about that. It's just an excuse for bad behavior. I don't know if I'm definitely not humanitarian, I don't think. I mean, I care about y'all. I care about people. I can't be selfish, though, you know. Your gains are consistent? Hey. Nice, Max. Aquarius gang, you know. I put more weight on, like, the Myers-Briggs personality test. I think those are a little bit more obviously accurate. All right, NASDAQ still dipping down a little bit here, but we did tap high levels. I'm tempted to buy the NASDAQ. I want to see if it starts to rally here. You know, we got the 200 exponential right here at 350. Also a whole dollar number. I'm looking at 350s for a buy on the NASDAQ. I'm consistently late every day. John the capitalist, definitely a capitalist. I'm thinking about buying 350 here, unless the chat wants to talk me out of it. If you even think about it, it can apply to anyone. No, 100%. It's confirmation bias to a certain extent. I've said this once, I'll say it again. You get people that are like, you know, oh, they really love their family and their friends, and they really deeply care about the people they love. Bro, everybody is going to freaking agree to that. You're telling me there's a lot of people that don't love their family? I guess that's true. But a large majority of people are going to be like, yep, that's me. I love my family. I like friends, you know? Like, of course they're going to say that. All right, here, I might buy the NASDAQ right here. We're at 350s. It kind of, we're wiggling a little bit because 830 happened. But we went ahead and bought the NASDAQ here. Let's see if we bounce at the 200 EMA. We've been bouncing there all morning. The problem with these type of trades is that if it doesn't work, it happens quick. So we'll try. We'll see if we get a bounce. Maybe I got in a tad bit too early though. But that's okay. Yeah, again, we'll see, though. I want to give it a chance, but it might just stop me out and go back. $320 maybe instead. $330 looks good. See at $310. I hope you're wrong, sir. I hope you're wrong. Starting to bounce a little bit. I think if we can retrace back up there and hold, that's great, obviously, but Well, gang, it's not looking good, though. nvidia's kind of dipping down. Here's the problem. We got a little bounce here. Let's see if we hold. Let's get some good news that comes out randomly all of a sudden. Canadian trade official LeBlanc says U.S. Trade Representative Greer has acted in good faith, according to CNBC. Got one of those Apex accounts, lost it overnight. I'm sorry to hear about that, VA. I'm sorry, my friend. It happens, though. It definitely happens, especially on those accounts. All right, we just got stopped out, which is all right. We got some bear pressure coming in afterwards. Maybe 300s. Somebody said 325 maybe could hold us support, but nvidia pulling back, MU pulling back. Was fun. Yeah, I mean, hey, as long as you had fun, bro. Canadian Minister for Trade LeBlanc want to end up in best situation of all U.S. partners, particularly in auto. Wanted to have the best situation of all U.S. trade partners. I'm still in my gold short, by the way, though. So, hey, we're in our gold short. We'll see what happens there. Dude, you're getting chopped out of the market? I don't know. I've had green trades and red trades this morning. You know? I mean, we're red on the day, but that's how it goes sometimes. It's the nature of trading. We made money yesterday. Not a lot, but we made some. We're at 335s right now. We can watch 325s. I don't think I'm going to take another trade there, though. I got to wait for more volatility here. Looking good at that gold short. Yeah, I mean, we're green on the gold short. S&P falling, what caused it? I don't know if there's anything that caused this, just price action. I mean, over the last few minutes, we have had certainly pullbacks in the NASDAQ and probably the S&P, just based off of maybe some profit taking around the highs of the day, most likely is what this is. You guys red or green today? Hopefully y'all are doing a little bit better than me. Bro, I'm almost out of my coffee already here today, though. That's not good. Yeah, but look at the NASDAQ. Just a big pullback here. We've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 red candles in a row on a 1-minute chart. So we are starting to squeeze down. I don't see any news that would drive this down either. So probably just profit taking after, you know, moving up there to test highs again. Flat VIX spike. Yeah, I mean, the VIX is spiking just because we're starting to see some downward push. But it's not, I mean, we're still under 16s on the VIX. But the NASDAQ continues to fall here this morning. Yeah, we had the double top up there. Simmons need to turn around. Yeah, I'm trying to see what's driving this. I mean, we have some like semiconductors moving down. nvidia moved down slightly, but I don't think this is what's pushing this down. Software seems to be down now. Yeah, software's down slightly on the day. We're still falling here, though, man. This is some red showing up. Maybe 300s, but I don't know. Good thing I held that gold short, though. Again, so Canada's Trade Minister LeBlanc, government intends to announce retaliatory tariffs today. Government intention is to announce retaliatory tariffs. I think that's government intentions regarding today, according to a CNBC interview. Minimum wage. Big hitters dumped the 29 425s. Yeah, I mean, we're right at highs. People are just taking profit there. We got a double top up there now. It might be interesting, or we could keep breaking down. I don't know at this point. We are dropping pretty quickly here right now. Institutions missed the overnight rally. They want to get in. I made $3.25 an hour in 1986. Let's see if this red continues down here. I mean, we've been falling most of the morning here. Or we've been falling most of the last 30 minutes, I should say. Head and shoulders, and a double top. Is Apex easy to use for new traders? Apex is a prop firm. It's mostly going to be futures driven. So you're not going to be able to trade options. You're not going to be able to buy and sell options. It's a futures market. So you can day trade indices, commodities, the NASDAQ, the S&P, the Dow, the Russell, gold, silver, oil, cattle prices, corn, all that stuff. And so the platform you use on that is going to, depend on you. You can pick a bunch of different platforms. Still falling here though in the NASDAQ. Let's see about 300s, but still dipping here. Some profit taking coming in markets maybe. If you want to check out Apex though, again, I'll put the link up. Great way to help support the channel. Apex still has their 90% off, so if you haven't checked out Apex already, again, Apex, 90% off. You can see Apex here. You can get a 1-pack or a 5-pack for $75, $15 each if you use BGT coupon code. You can get a 100K no activation fee for $59 each. So pretty cheap, all things considered, here on Apex right now. If you want to check it out, a great way to help support the channel. Also, Tradeify recently announced, I believe, let me check it out. Tradeify has their, what is it? They have their big boy account now. Yeah, look, right now, Tradeify has their 150K direct to funded, 478 if you use my code BGT. If you use code BGT, it's 478 bucks right now. Pretty good deal, honestly. You get 40% off 5 times and then 30% off. It ends August 31st. So honestly, pretty good deal. Pretty good deal. If you want to check out Tradeify, 40% off right now. I'll put the link up for them as well. Here's the Tradeify link. BGT code will work on Apex, Tradeify, Lucid, take profit. All right, NASDAQ started to bounce back a little bit, right around 320. See if the NASDAQ continues to bounce here. Alright, so we are starting to rally here. I did end up buying this 320 level. Very small though, but I'll give it a second. I'll probably hold it close to break even now in this. I could also add more to this. I want to get out maybe at 350 now. Wait, am I still in gold? Let me see. Hold on. No, I'm not. Okay, good. Alright, we're almost flat at the NASDAQ now. $720. Yeah, once you sell, you gotta relocate. Bullish day today and tomorrow. Are you guys bullish on nvidia earnings? I think that's the big story going into markets right now. Is nvidia earnings? Obviously, I mean Jackson Hole Symposium's also not nothing. I don't know the title of the last beat. I'll have to go look. The guitar one? I don't know, bro. Honestly, it just kind of goes back and forth. It doesn't really tell me. Alright, I'll probably get out break even on this. It's just, I don't feel like getting chopped out. BlackRock is accelerating Bitcoin's Wall Street shift. BlackRock cut the minimum for converting Bitcoin directly into the IBIT ETF shares to 1 million from 25 million, helping institutionalize crypto ownership a little bit more. More than $5 billion has already moved into IBIT through these kind of conversions. Bitwise, Morgan Stanley, and Grayscale are seeing similar adoption. Hey, good job, LV. Good job, dude. This is Jackson Hole Symposium. It's an economic event that happens once a year. Usually the Fed chairman speaks, so that'll be Warsh this year. It's at 10 a.m. on Friday, Eastern Standard Time. So he's supposed to speak on economics at 10 a.m. on Friday. We also have a BLS benchmark revision dropping at the same time. So we got BLS benchmark revision, and we have the Jackson Hole Symposium on Friday. So we got things going on Friday, guys. But Wednesday's the big day, really. Which day will be bigger for markets? I'm assuming you guys are going to say Wednesday, because Wednesday probably will be the bigger day for markets. It depends on what... it depends on what happens for NVIDIA earnings and what the numbers actually show up as. But I'm assuming Wednesday is going to be larger for markets than Friday. Although Friday could move things as well. Friday is not necessarily small here. So... But I'm assuming Wednesday, just based off of NVIDIA earnings, is what's going to move things a little bit more. Thursday? Earnings and core PCE data. Yeah, PCE data. You know, it could move things. Could be rug pull. CapEx could be insane. Market no likes. Bitcoin is fighting some legs. Since NVIDIA buys their own chips, they have unlimited sales. PCE, GDP always a bigger day. Jackson Hole next. I don't know. I don't know if PCE and GDP are always bigger. I think sometimes people see it as a little bit more lagging. But I think Wednesday overall, when you take into account NVIDIA earnings, is obviously going to be the next big one. Alright, so here's the NASDAQ here. We're just kind of back and forth. If this trades with any volume below 250s, I wouldn't try to buy it at the open. To be honest, I might just sit out the market this weekend. It might not be a bad idea. I mean, you could try to take some of this volatility Thursday. You know, somebody said Thursday. That might not be the wrong answer just because, you know, we'll get some digestion from NVIDIA earnings on Thursday. We have jobless claims. Not really a big report, but it's something. But really, we're going to look for, you know, what happens to chips, semis, and NVIDIA on Thursday. NVIDIA has beaten estimates in 18 of its last 20 quarters and revenue estimates in 19 of 20. Yeah, again, we mentioned this earlier, but for NVIDIA earnings, it might be a situation in which, you know, it is a situation, I think, in which if it beats and raises, we might not get upward movement. We might, but we might not. It's a little more ambiguous, depending on what the actual numbers actually show. If it misses numbers, which it's probably not going to, very low odds that it does, then obviously we're going to see some big pullbacks and drops here. So I think it's somewhere in the middle. I don't think they're going to miss, of course, though. I just don't think they're going to miss. If you don't make money from volatility, then when do you make money? I mean, we make money from volatility, but leading into that volatility, we could be choppy. Like a lot of the time ahead of big events, big red folder events like CPI data, like Fed meetings, NVIDIA earnings, a lot of the time markets are a little bit more apprehensive. They're quiet. They don't necessarily want to take big size because they don't know what's going to happen when that catalyst drops. And so markets can be flat. But we'll see. Yeah, we're watching gold and NVIDIA here, but they're kind of slowing down some now. NVIDIA's at 211s, though. NVIDIA's been in the wake of a pullback, so if we're trying to look at what markets have done ahead of this here, you know, NVIDIA's still in that big range, but sideways price action that we've seen. Really, it's been like this for years, but we did finally break highs. You know, so NVIDIA really over like a long period of time. Here's this year altogether. You know, so like we've had slow moves up, but a lot of this is just kind of sideways here. I'm watching 210 on NVIDIA, though. That seems to be some support level. So if we're looking at NVIDIA short term, I think 210 makes sense to watch. Oil, again, it's kind of started to stabilize, but it's kind of sideways today as well if you look at it. It did drop some on more optimism around Middle Eastern stuff, but it's all about guidance. Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it is. The problem with NVIDIA is even with good earnings, it can still crash 100%. Yeah, that's why, like, somebody asked me, would I rather buy calls or puts earlier if I had to gamble? And I guess calls, but I don't think it's easy money. I don't think that's easy money. Yeah, I just don't think it's easy money. Shares, PE compression. What's the PE ratio on NVIDIA now? Last time I looked at it, it was like 40 or 30. Yeah, it's 32. Approximately 32. Oil's starting to dip here a little bit, though. Look at oil. Oil down to 82s. We do have the 9 a.m. scrum. Shares only safety, baby. There's no easy money. No, there's not. Calls are full of premiums. Yeah. What happened in markets today? Iran de-escalation hopes, oil down, chips rebound. Is essentially what we have today. Oil down $82 a barrel. This was at 85s, 86s yesterday. And so oil down on potentially more talks. We heard news earlier about Omani foreign minister visits Tehran today. Pakistani army chief spoke with Trump before the trip. Iran negotiator Ghalibaf mentioned Islamabad MOU implies negotiation framework is still active. Bessett's economic isolation plan wasn't as bad as people expected it to be, and all this stuff pushing oil down is kind of what the market's doing today. But again, we're pre-nvidia earnings, pre-big data, pre-Jackson Hole Symposium this week, so this is the last kind of quiet day that we have in terms of data, market releases, and catalysts. So it's a little bit more quiet now, but nvidia always burns me out in earnings. I don't think oil's getting below 70 though, Tan. What's up, Tanvia? How you doing, bro? I don't think it's getting under 70 right now, of course. It could. We'll see, but I don't think it's going to. Alright, guys. So here's 5 a.m. in 5 minutes. Or 9 a.m. in 5 minutes. Yeah, Dix is down big. It's dragging Nike down. They missed EPS and revenue. So they're down. Nike's down with it in sympathy. You're on a plane right now, Wow. Hey, what's up, dude? Hey, the best channel. Retail has no more TAM to grow. Buy the oil dip. Is oil a buy or sell right now? It's down. I mean, you could argue a taco situation here. But I think the problem is that, like, if it doesn't taco, it has big upside potential, or big downside potential. So you can say, yeah, let's buy oil. And I'm not even necessarily opposed to that. I think oil's down, and that's great. This could be an overreaction, certainly, in oil. The problem is that if you're wrong, then, and we do get back to the negotiating table here, markets might love it, oil might dump to the 70s, and that's the risk right now, I think. But hey, nice Wow. Airline stocks at open. We have inflation data tomorrow, PCE inflation tomorrow. It's time to short strategy. nvidia always burns me out on post earnings. Gotta play it. I'm waiting for further dip, but it's not over. 90% of the oil's moving through the straight. Good morning, everyone. What's up, dude? Yeah, I've tried to use internet on a plane. I never get good luck with it. I'm definitely not going to trade on that internet. Yeah, I mean, Sam, listen, man. Do whatever you want to do, bro. You know, like, I got your message, and it just seemed like a little, you know, like, dude, listen, I appreciate you posting, and it's all good, you know, but, you don't need to post, man. Like, you don't need to post to the Discord. You don't need to, you know, I appreciate it, but, like, you know, it's not like you work for the channel, my friend. You know what I mean? So you don't need to feel any obligation to post. It almost seemed a little threatening, and so it just seemed a little, it's all good. It's all good. I don't want to go into it. We can talk about it outside of the stream if you want. But do what you got to do, bro. Do what you got to do. 75,000 first class flights. I tried to buy a first class ticket one time. My wife was like, nah, bro. Just to experience it, you know. I flew from New York to Japan. The plane had Starlink. Alright. Gold at 46.90s. Your poll for today is almost 50-50. Is it? I don't even see a poll right now. Where's the poll? Do I have to reset to see the poll? Oh, there it is. It's at 51. Do gold futures break 5K this week? We don't need to negotiate anymore. We control the straight. Are we entering gold trade today? If yes. GDX is the way to go. Here's 9 a.m. Yeah, the Nasdaq's just not moving here. Oil's still pushing down, though. Let's see at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock happens in 25 seconds. Let's see if we get some movement here in the Nasdaq from that here. Here's 9 a.m. I'm still looking at 350s, but maybe a short now. I don't know. We're too sideways in big range here. All right, so here's 9 o'clock. Fifth fleet is a wrap. All right, here's 9 a.m. right now. So 9 a.m. data just hit. We didn't get any movement from it yet, but here's the Nasdaq starting to dip down. Here's the 200 exponential. And this is why I watched this spot here. I was looking at 200 exponential and 350. And we are close to highs. We're relatively close to highs on the Nasdaq, but I don't necessarily want to push too heavy. But that Nasdaq is rejecting at the 200 exponential. The 9 a.m. scrum happened. Look at gold though move. So look at gold. What's gold doing here? Gold's moving quickly right now. Yeah, so gold all of a sudden just dumped. On volume too. I guess it could be the 9 a.m. data here, but big candle on gold. Volume spiked simultaneously here. So, let me look at news. U.S. home. Oh, this is the Case-Shiller data, maybe. 20 city home prices rose 0.2% month over month in June, above the 0.1% consensus. And matching in May, price increased 2.1% year over year, accelerating from 1.6 in May and beating expectations. Apple introducing new Mac Studio with M5 Max and M5 Ultra. But we did have Case-Shiller data. Better than expected Case-Shiller data. Or home prices went up more than expected, I should say. 0.2% versus 0.1% expected. Prices increased 2.1% year over year. Up from 1.6% in May, beating expectations of 1.7%. So higher home prices. And gold dipped. The Nasdaq is also starting to turn here a little bit now. Look at the Nasdaq drop here as well. I don't see any news outside of house price data that might influence this, but it could be house price data. Redbook showed 9.1%, previous was 7.6%. Where's Apple? Apple's reacting well to the news about the new debut, but gold like a coil. Silver, yes. Hey, what's up, Taps? Nvidia's so strong. I mean, Nvidia's up on the day, but I wouldn't say it's super strong right now. All right, here. Again, no big news today, but we had some stuff. Apple did spike to 310s. Kind of in a range, though, again today, man. Markets might just be anticipating the big catalyst for tomorrow. It's been one of those quiet weeks. Like last week was a little quiet. We didn't have a ton of data. And then this week so far has been quieter. Not super quiet, but definitely a little bit slower so far here. But this is all in anticipation of tomorrow, probably. But gold did just dip. Nvidia pretty freaking flat. MU and SanDisk are up on the day, but they're slowing down now too. Just Google. Waiting for NASDAQ pullback to get back in. Apple at 311. Look at Apple rise. So Apple, again, had news just now that they unveiled a more powerful Mac Mini featuring the all-new M6 and M5 Pro. And so Apple's starting to rise some here. Apple's a pretty heavily weighted stock, too. I believe it's number 2 in the NASDAQ. Number 2 in the S&P. Number 2 in the NASDAQ in terms of weight. And oil's down to $82 a barrel, so... Again, maybe the Case-Shiller House Price Index moving things, but... Still pretty quiet ahead of the... I mean, we're green on the day, don't get me wrong, but... We got 25 minutes until the opening bell. Market on open date is in about 15 minutes. Or 20 minutes. Microsoft. Microsoft's not really moving. This candle you see on Microsoft is like a random order getting filled. It's not like this candle went up here to the previous, like anytime it's a random order getting filled overnight, you know, at 9 o'clock, it goes to the previous closing price, which you can see is the light blue line, and then it retraces back. So it's not a real candle. Like if one random rogue order gets filled up there, it'll push these weird candles on the chart, but it's not, this is not like, it's not like Microsoft went up there and got dumped down. Like this is just a random order getting filled real quick and then it went right back to where it was. So hope that makes sense. NASDAQ's still breaking down here though. Stop loss. I'm not in a trade right now. So. But stop losses are generally good, yes. Oh, silver is back near $68 an ounce. Yeah, we had the gold pull back here as well, randomly, but really we're in a tight range again this morning. Still watching Apple to see what it does. But surprisingly quiet on big market moving news today. This goes against how it was yesterday, where we had a lot of big news dropping, influencing markets. Again, so Apple introducing M6 and M5 Ultra for a big leap in performance. M5 Max and M5 Ultra, Apple's most powerful silicone ever, launches first NM chip M6 and quad die M5 Ultra. New Mac Studio with M5 Max and M5 Ultra, the ultimate desktop for on-device AI and the most extreme pro workflows, apparently. And Apple is up. Maybe some quiet before the storm today, though. I mean, I like both stop losses and small size. Don't take that out of context. Yeah, I'm going to do another poll here. What does the market do today? Chop. Bull run. Bearish. It's going to be the pretty simple poll. The poll is now live. What does the market do today? We got 3 options. Chop, bull run, bearish. %34% say choppy, 41% say we get a bullish run today, 24% are bearish apparently. Wait on nvidia earnings. Yeah, I think the market's waiting here. You know how biased the market is right now. Apple announced things like this and instantly get good reaction. I mean, we have a somewhat positive reaction. It's not the biggest reaction though. Apple is still relatively flat on the day. Waiting on nvidia earnings. Yeah, I think chop makes sense. Like, I think chop makes sense. but they're going to create so much inflation to get rid of the debt. It's going to destroy the dollar. Yeah, I mean, that's possible. Walmart. I'm looking at Walmart. It's still down a lot now. I mean, actually, Walmart bounced back a little bit. One of my swing trading strategies has been really easy to make money, and it's just waiting for healthy companies to pull back heavily and then buy in the dip if it's low PE and outlook is good. I just wait for healthy companies to pull back big and buy the dip, even if we don't completely rebound back up from it. Most of the time, we're going to rebound a little bit over a few week period. And you can also take the situation in which you just continue to hold it long term if it doesn't work out short term. Not the safest way, but I think if you like holding it long term anyway, it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, it works. It works. It doesn't always work, but I've made money with it. All right, guys, we got 20 minutes left. So we did get news just now that Iran's positions and conditions on the Strait of Hormuz were announced transparently through Pakistan, according to Tasnim, citing sources here. Let's go ahead and read these off here, but let's look at oil while this happens. Okay, so apparently a source close to the Iranian negotiating team told Tasnim, contrary to what some media outlets have said, Munir, the commander of the Pakistani army who traveled to Iran the other day, was not carrying a threatening message or a similar message from the U.S., but rather was seeking to open the space for negotiations and seeking to convey Iran's conditions and positions to the American side. So this is de-escalating news, apparently. They weren't going at it necessarily. They were trying to resolve things, is essentially what he said. So this is de-escalating, but it's not really moving anything. Oil's not really moving much from it. But we'll see. Again, Pakistan is going to convey Iran's conditions and positions to the U.S. Iran's negotiating team said the U.S. must return to Islamabad deal to secure Hormuz. He added, in the meeting with Mr. Munir, Iran's positions were clearly announced to the Pakistani side. The informed source pointed out that the return of the United States to the MOU and the implementation of its provisions, which include Article 5, i.e. Iranian agreements on the Strait of Hormuz, are among Iran's conditions, and this issue was announced by Pakistan, and the Pakistani side is seeking to transfer them to the American side. Oil now is starting to dip down. This is moving it a little bit, maybe. Look at oil. So oil is testing the lows of the day here. Now, under $82 a barrel for WTI crude after this just came out. Oil continuing to fall on some of this news. And again, we covered it before these drops here, so you're welcome. But there's the oil. Just broke lows of the day at 81.80s right now. 81.80s. nvidia also starting to bounce back up. The Nasdaq's starting to see some strength, but oil just cracked lows on this. It's showing more optimism around negotiations with the United States and Iran. So oil is now falling down. It just broke lows of the day. It got popped right back up, but it still cracked lows for a second. It got down to 81s. It's now under $82 a barrel. This should make yields fall, potentially as well. Yeah, yields are going down some. Here's 2-year yields. Maybe more stabilization in oil, making yields more optimistic here. But oil still tapping that low of the day area here at 81.80s now for it. I mean, oil's been open all day. WTI crude futures have been open all day. Futures don't close. Depends on which oil you're talking about, though. See if it keeps falling. 84s, 83s now for oil. So oil continues to fall after this news was announced. Again, the news moving oil down, and the Nasdaq's up a little bit, is that Tasnim, citing sources, says that close to the Iranian negotiating team told Tasman that contrary to what some media outlets have said, the commander of the Pakistani army who traveled to Iran the other day was not carrying a threatening message or similar message from the U.S., but rather seeking to open the space for negotiations and seeking to convey Iran's conditions and positions to the American side. We are getting ready to head into the opening bell here, chat. Today is the day, gentlemen. Hey, are you still in your oil short, Max? Yields falling down. Here's oil, though, popping back up to $82 a barrel here now. So buy or sell oil, chat. What do you guys think? Again, Iran's conditions include a return to the MOU, including on Hormuz. We're kind of in a high volume area here on the volume profile, though. I can't really trade this. We're too sideways in the NASDAQ. Maybe oil or gold. Gold is down to 46.70s. Look at oil jump right back up here. So we just completely did the opposite. Look at oil up to 82.20s right now. So oil just jumped right back up. I don't know if there's any other news to push oil. But look at oil jump right back up here. $82 a barrel now. 82.30s now. Could be positioning, but man. Back and forth. Gold's falling. Oil's higher. Yield's probably going up now. Yeah, yields just jumped. Also, a little bit. 4.204%. Weird. Taker attack to the Strait of Hormuz. I think that's what this is. But we had de-escalating things most of this morning, but now we're kind of switching back here. Weird. Let's see if we hold down, guys. We got 7 minutes, 8 minutes until the market on open data. Let's see if that moves anything. We've had some movement from all this. But let's see if this holds now. Very weird. A lot of intentions go to stabilize the bond market. Yeah, so again, very sideways in action here, although the NASDAQ did test highs earlier and then got squeezed back down here. Gold still pushing down a little bit to the bottom of the range at 46.75. Oil jumped back up after optimistic news regarding Iran. But here's gold. Gold's at the bottom of this longer term range here in the morning. It's been in this range really since yesterday. I think oil's about to rip. I mean, maybe we do. It's hard to tell. It's all based off of geopolitical stuff. And so I don't know regarding oil. Treasury yields extend declines. I don't know. Oil. Yields have actually jumped back up some though. Where's the CME watch at today? It's down a little bit. So rate hike odds actually decreased a little bit, I guess, on the lower oil prices here at 38% likely that we raise rates next meeting. Still looking at trade, but honestly, I haven't had good results this morning, so I had to slow down my trading as we head into the opening bell. Again, NASDAQ's still pretty quiet here. Oil's moving a little bit, though. Still pushing up some. 82.30s a barrel now. The 200 exponential did pop us down here in oil. But very flat range ahead of the opening bell. Will we get volatility unlocked at the open? I'm not sure. Insiders produce the news. They trade. Yeah, they definitely trade. Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin, I mean, look. We have optimistic and, you know, pessimistic things we could say about Bitcoin right now. Bitcoin hit 81,200s earlier this morning. But now it's back down to 78s here. So it's still quiet and all, you know, regarding everything. Oil just jumped back up to 82.40s now. Back at the 200 EMA. I don't know if I like a short here, though. We've already rejected at that level twice, and now, you know, we're pretty close to the market on open data in 4 minutes here. So we do have data in 4 minutes. Yep. I'm watching it max for sure. Again, Dick's Sporting Goods missed earnings. Nike's down on it. Shh, don't remind me. Walmart is up a little bit yesterday, down a little bit today. nvidia is green on the day. MU is green. SanDisk is green. So we got some optimism here, but still kind of quiet right now in markets heading into all these things. So let's see what we get. But market on open data maybe going to move things. Again, Drunken Miller, which is Bessett's mentor, says the bond purchases are a mistake, apparently. Do you guys agree with Bessett's bond purchases to try to stimulate the yield or the bond market? Do you guys agree with doubling the buyback and potentially doing more? All right, guys, 3 minutes until market on open data. We'll see how that moves things ahead of the opening bell. But here's the NASDAQ. It's starting to flush out here, though. Still at the bottom of the range. I mean, we can watch this range, depending on if it breaks it before the open or not. But we can watch this range on the NASDAQ. Oil still pushing higher. It's at 82.5. So the net effect of that news in Iran was higher oil prices, not lower. No, correct solution is ending the Iran conflict. It's essentially the same thing as getting a new credit card to pay off the old one. I agree with it. TLT is going to rock it. It helps midterms. Like he says, they have tools and we'll use them. Yeah. No, don't agree with it. Doesn't matter whether we agree or not. Investors showed us already. I mean, investors, it's kind of back and forth, though. Again, when we had the announcement, markets were ripped up. Yields dumped, but we filled the gap on them within a day, you know. So like, I think it's kind of split down the middle here regarding whether Bessett's bond purchases plan. You know, yesterday we got news that he might use the Treasury General account, which has almost $1 trillion in it, $935 billion to fund it, versus short-term issuance. And again, markets are kind of split on whether this is a good thing or not. You know, we're hearing a lot of people say no, it's not. But, I mean, yields going down is a win right now short term. Bitcoin is obviously reacting well. Gold has been reacting well to this also. But, you know, it's not... There's consequences for doing it for sure as well. So, long term, it's not good, yeah. All right, guys, here we go. Market on open data in less than a minute. Let's see what happens here. Market on open data, MOO data, less than 1 minute. Here we go, 30 seconds. Let's see if market on open data actually moves anything right now, and what's mostly a quiet market open today. Here we go. 25 seconds. Here we go. 15 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And here it is right here. Market on open data. A little bit of green in this. So far we've had a green reaction in the NASDAQ to MOO data. nvidia just jumped up to 211s. So nvidia just jumped up, broke out of that short-term range here. Is getting closer to the pre-market high. The NASDAQ just jumped up a little bit on this as well here. I don't put anything in my coffee, bro. I put nothing in my coffee. Maybe a little bit of cinnamon I'll put in it, but that's it. All right, so far, green reaction to the MOO data. This is partly driven by nvidia. Let me get rid of this. Look at gold still fall, though. Gold falling on this data. Here's the NASDAQ. Again, NASDAQ's pushing up. Here's nvidia. nvidia's pushing up towards the highs ahead of market open today, guys. But so far, green reactions to the market on open day. It doesn't mean too much. We have 4 minutes left. Again, nvidia just jumped up to 211s. 211.5. So your pre-market high is right here at 211.5. All right, 3.5 minutes. So look at gold here, though. Gold is falling. 46,667 for gold. Is that the low of the day? Yeah, we cracked lows of the day in gold just now. With 3 minutes left until the open. That's in trying to control the yield curve. All right, here we go. Market data coming out, or market on open data so far has positively impacted the NASDAQ. nvidia went up and negatively impacted gold. Gold cracked lows of the day ahead of the opening bell now. We're at 326s now, so the NASDAQ is giving back some of the moves up it's made. So again, it's still pretty early here. Here's the NASDAQ. 2 minutes left. 2 minutes. All right, look at the NASDAQ just cracked this low of the range now. So we're starting to see some red now. Look at the NASDAQ here. Is this news? I don't think so, but it could be. China experts say that U.S. tariffs cannot fix productivity gaps. Look at the NASDAQ. Seeing some drops ahead of the opening bell now. Oil jumping up as well, though. Let me check tweets. No tweets. All right, guys, we got a minute and a half until the opening bell. Yeah, I don't see any news yet. All right, look, we're at 29,300s now with the NASDAQ here. 29,300s. We're at 307s. Short at 425s. All right, here we go. 45 seconds here, chat. 45 seconds. Oh, I almost thought it was trash day. 30 seconds. Little red showing up ahead of the opening bell here, but here we go. We got 20 seconds, 25 seconds. Here's 29,300s on the NASDAQ. 10 seconds until the opening bell. Watch NVIDIA, though. NVIDIA's been volatile here. I've just turned bullish for the day. Hey, good luck, dude. All right, NASDAQ down. There's the opening bell here. Red in the NASDAQ so far, but we're starting to get balled up. NVIDIA dipped a little sizable amount at the open. NASDAQ a little green now since the open. NVIDIA dipped down to 210.50s though. Let's see if it gets bought up. I'm looking for, if NVIDIA does a red to green move, maybe I will look for that type of setup here at the open. Because NVIDIA dipped a little bit now. If it gets bought up, maybe. But I do have to wait 5 minutes, so if it does happen, hopefully it takes a little while. Buy or sell the open, chat. What do you guys think? We did a poll earlier. 43% think we're going to get chopped. 34% think a bull run. 23% are bearish. There's the NASDAQ start to rise. All right, we're getting a little green now. Still in a high volume area. I don't really want to mess with it here, and I got to wait a couple minutes to trade now. All right, now we got retrace back down. Getting pushed right back down here. You know, NVIDIA's getting down to 210s. I'm curious to buy it down at 210s, but it's still so close to the opening bell here. This is a big retracement down here, so we'll see if we get a better trend playing out now. Maybe I should have bought 210s. NVIDIA sub 205s. I don't know. I was looking at 210 to prop it up, and it kind of did. It didn't quite get down to 210. It went to 210.10. So 10 cents away from where I was thinking about buying it, but the bounce happened regardless here. Here's the NASDAQ over 3.5s. Yeah, I'm still in Netflix. Netflix is still over 80s. I'm tempted to buy this though. I think markets could also start pricing in some stuff ahead of NVIDIA earnings. And I think all things considered, NVIDIA's cheap long term here. Problem is when I buy these type of pullbacks like this, are we breaking rules? We are breaking rules. I mean, we're flat now, but it's a little baby trade. We'll add more to it. Yeah, I mean, we're in such a small trade. I'll look to add to this, but it looks strong. I'm gonna buy into this pullback here. There we go. I'm just gonna scalp some of these moves. There we go. All right. I mean, look, we'll see what happens, but we did have some strength. Yeah, I'm looking at MU, SanDisk. They're bouncing back some. MU more than SanDisk. MU's at 945s right now. So memory seems strong and the market seems optimistic, but there's also a chance we chop. NVIDIA is also at the pre-market high here, so we could speculate that NVIDIA might make a test for its pre-market highs and that continues to rally stocks, but see. 350s is right below us too, which is good, I guess. NASDAQ continuing to move up here at the opening bell here. So the bulls were right in the poll. nvidia just broke pre-market highs, so that worked. I broke my rules, but that's okay. Some rules are meant to be broken. We got out green though, I'll take it, but very small. Here's 350s again though. Tempted to buy the 350, but I might have missed it already. Seems like an easy buy, but that's assuming nvidia continues to run back up. I do assume that like nvidia, some people are going to be buying nvidia ahead of earnings. nvidia's pulled back some now, and that might continue to rally the market here. Oh my gosh, that scared the heck out of me. Hey, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you, brother. Zeke. Oh, shout out to Zeke. I appreciate the memberships, dude. Here, I'm gonna mute the background music for a little while. That's too loud. Shout out to Zeke. Thank you, brother. Still down. We're at the 200 exponential now, though. Starting to pull back some. nvidia is still rallying here, though. MU and memory names pulling back here, though. Hey, shout out to Zeke. Thank you for the donations, brother. Thank you, man. I appreciate the gift memberships, dude. Tempted to buy this though, but memory's pulling back, but nvidia's running up here. I might have missed the buy opportunity here though. But yeah, shout out to Zeke. Thank you, bro. Alright, so we ripped up and then pulled back, specifically in memory. SanDisk, MU, SK Hynix went up at the open, and now they've pulled back some here. nvidia is still breaking highs at pre-market, though. It's up to 212s right now for nvidia here, so we still might have some optimism with nvidia being the most heavily weighted stock in the stock market. Tempted to buy this up though. The question is, does memory rebound or turn? All right, I'm gonna buy right here, small though. There we go. Yep. Okay. Hold the rest break even now, see if it rallies some more. Scalp at the opening bell here, but it's small. And we were red on the day prior to this, to be honest. I'm gonna get out here. I think it might bounce right here, but I'm just gonna take the win. nvidia always rallies into earnings and crashes. Yeah, I mean, I think people are gonna get optimistic about the earnings. We're gonna see some front loading into it. Memory's still pulling back though. Here is what's going on. MU at 930s. Just broke under the VWAP for MU. Memory name still dipping here a little bit. Might turn red now though. Definitely got to just wiggly here in markets. Y'all just be careful. MU just turned red here, so this is one of the reasons driving markets down. Here's MU. Red since the opening bell, I mean, but it's definitely back and forth. nvidia is still pretty strong here, so we got like a battle between semiconductors and memory. I wouldn't say this is a good range, though. Very back and forth price action here. Now we're bouncing back a little bit here, though. So it's fake out city right now. Just be careful. We go up here, some shorts might get squeezed out too. Let's see if MU bounces back more. What happens here? nvidia's starting to pop higher. We're up to 350s again here. So yeah, look. So here's nvidia. Moving up at the open. MU seems to get it rejected here, though. Market's pushing back up to the top of the range here. nvidia rallying some. It's fake out city though right now. Y'all just be careful here. It is nvidia earnings. Now we're pushing right back down here. So very flat range at the opening bell, although nvidia and memory names have been moving a little bit. President says Canada has been ripping off the U.S. for decades. Canada is easily the most difficult and unreasonable country to deal with. Just covering news. Canadians, don't get mad at me. You know. Alright, now we're seeing a flush back down here. Specifically in memory. nvidia pulling back now too. If nvidia starts to go the same direction as like MU and memory plays, then maybe we'll get some bearish action here. Looks heavy though, but we'll see. If nvidia keeps breaking highs, maybe we keep rallying. So back and forth here though right now. This is not good price action here, guys. Big range, choppiness. MU's right at the opening price basically as well. Canadians. I like the land of Canada. Poutine's great. Generally really nice people. You know? Ugh. But here's the NASDAQ today, man. The NASDAQ's just sideways. Maybe we start to break out of this range, but then even then you could get squeezes back down. We do have CB consumer confidence at 10 a.m. today, so that is something we have at 10 o'clock. We'll see what happens there, but we do have CB consumer confidence at 10. Nvidia just broke highs again, got up to 213s right now. It's really what's rallying stocks here. Nvidia is still pushing higher here though, but memory is kind of coming down is the problem. I'm worried we're going to break highs and then just dump down here, though, and just trap all the longs. I get excited. Especially if Nvidia can't break 213s. I guess everybody's just waiting on Nvidia earnings. Let's see if we hold. Seems like markets want to break some of these high levels up here. I might take a greedy long up here, but yeah. I'll take a greedy long. Okay. That's better. So whippy though, I gotta be just prepared to cut this quick if it doesn't work. Nvidia broke over that high. Memory's starting to bounce back too. I might add more to this. What's breaking down today? Something's got to be breaking down. Let's see. Google. Apple. Apple pulled back a little bit. AMD. I'm hoping we don't just chop all day, though. Yeah, I'm going to... Greedy long, I'm going to get out. It's not easy money today, man. It's just been hard to make money. Too choppy. Nvidia is still rallying, though, into this earnings. There's kind of a sell wall up here, though. We did get stubborn and took another long here. I'll show you guys, but we went into a wall here. I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, it looks, the bullish momentum is here. I'm going to take some profit. I mean, I'm watching Nvidia specifically here is why I'm going long. Nvidia's at 214s. That's why I've taken long. AMD's ripped up and broke highs. There we go. I'm just going to get out here. And we'll see what happens. Again, CB Consumer Confidence at 10 a.m. is relevant. So we do have CB Consumer Confidence at 10 o'clock today. Again, if you want to help support the channel, use code BGT at checkout on all major prop firms. Lucid, Apex has got their 5-pack bundle deal, $75. If you want to check them out, I'll put the link up here. Great way to help support the channel. Here's the Apex link. Again, the cheapest accounts in the game. Most day traders lose money. You fund your own account, thousands of dollars, you're probably going to lose. And so it only makes sense to limit your risk instead of depositing $2,000 or $3,000, whatever, and trying to day trade without really learning first. Try one of these. It's $15 an account. You pass it, you get a 25K funded account. You fail it, you lose $15. It's not the end of the world. It's the best way to learn, in my opinion, because you have some pressure, right? But it's not the full extent of like risking thousands in your own account. There's the link right there. I'll pin it to the top of the chat. Great way to help support the channel. And see, now we're dipping down after moving up there. Home sales could impact things. I mean, CB Consumer Confidence could impact things. I don't think it's going to, but maybe they do. Maybe they do. So we do have CB Consumer Confidence, new home sales data. Wrong call. You should have held that. I mean, I don't know. Look at the market now. So it looks like I got out just in time of that last long. I got out up here at like 400, 405. So I think that was the right call. What's going on now, though, is that Apple's still dipping down some here. Yeah, it hasn't been easy money for sure. Dude, I'm a little nauseous today, dude. Like I said, I had to take Benadryl last night, man. I get a little queasy today, bro. I gave myself a peptide shot for my leg, BPC or whatever, dude, and my whole abdomen swole up. You know, like hives, like all that stuff, dude. Ugh. I had to take Benadryl. Maybe the Benadryl making me nauseous, but weird, you know. Got up to highs again and then rejected back down here, though. Nvidia's been on a rally. You could assume maybe it's going to pull back a little bit now. But Nvidia's up to almost 215s at the opening bell. All right, guys. CB Consumer Confidence data at 10 o'clock. I don't think it's going to move anything, though, to be honest. I just don't think it will. Here's a pullback here. Here's the 200 EMA, though. That might prop us up. It just depends on what... MU is still falling down, though. So, it's retracing now. 200 EMA might have been the move there after that big pullback right here. 345s. You guys up or down since the opening bell? I'm green since the open. I still rattled the day, though. NVIDIA earnings are tomorrow. All right, CB Consumer Confidence in 6 minutes. I don't know if this is going to move anything, though, really. Did my music just stop? Let's see. Red, break even. Green, red. Green up 3%. Green today, flat. Red, man down. I'm up today. Yeah, I'm not going to take the second test of the 200 EMA, though. I don't know if it's volatile. I would say it's just rangy and whippy. I mean, whippy may be volatile, but it's just rangy right now. We're not really going in like big up or down in either direction here, unfortunately. So we're just kind of moving in a range. There's some red, though. I could try to piggyback off of this red. The problem is, like, nvidia looks like it's in a dip. Right, that could be bounceable. The other issue, though, is MU is kind of pulling back here. So maybe I'll short a bounce here if we get one. Needs to be large enough. We get a bounce up to 325s, maybe. I'll short that. Maybe. Close enough. We'll short it. It's a bold move, but I think the momentum maybe favors me here. I gotta get out of this before CB consumer confidence data releases. I don't want to see 300 hold us up, though, so I'm gonna start cutting it quickly and just scalp it. All right, I'm out. All right, 3.5 minutes until CB consumer confidence. We also have new home sales drop at the same time. MU does look weak, but it's also at the bottom of the range here, so it could bounce. I don't want 300 to prop us up. That's why I cut this. We made a very small amount, but here's 300, or this is 305, but yeah, basically the same level here. 300. Yeah, I do see Netflix. It's in 3 minutes, Nathan. It's at 10 a.m. with new home sales. Yeah, there's 300 bounce. Going down to 46.60s. I mean, I'm not in anything right now, bro. I'm out. I got out around 300. I don't want to hold through a bounce there. I mean, obviously it looks bearish. 2 minutes until this data comes out, though. All right, here we're starting to crack these lows. The VWAP is down there at about 255, 260. The question, does NVIDIA bounce, though, at the previous pre-market high? I think is the question. It's a little ways away. 212s, 213s might be a level here, previous high of the day. We're also right at the VWAP on the NASDAQ here. So I might buy this now and just try to play a range. Oh wait, we got CB consumer confidence in less than a minute. I'm gonna get out. Let me wait for that. I don't think it's gonna move markets in any big game-changing way. But if it does, I'd rather be out of the position. All right, here we go. Data comes out in 30 seconds. 30 seconds. It's expected at 90.3 for CB consumer confidence. New home sales expected at 620,000. All right, 10 seconds left. 300 still hold us up here, but 5 seconds. All right, let's see what the data was. All right, CB consumer confidence data, 89.4, slightly weaker than expected. 89.4. New home sales, 607 versus 620. Weaker new home sales, weaker CB consumer confidence, down 10.5% new home sales month over month. They did revise the previous numbers up, though, for new home sales, but weaker than expected for 10 a.m. Yeah, it did move at all. That's what I mean, it's still too early. Maybe we digest these moves a little bit, but still, it didn't do much. I'm gonna buy this again, I think, and then maybe take some size here. But we are dropping, wiggling fast. I want to see if nvidia props this up. We gotta cut it. Yeah, it hasn't been an easy day for me to make money, though, unfortunately. So it's just not an easy day to make money. And so I might just get on out of here early. It's not an easy day so far to make money for me, you know. And I don't want to keep pushing on bad days. Sometimes it's just not the day, you know. Thinking about buying this again, though. Hold on. Alright. See if we hold up here now, though. nvidia looks like it wants to bounce here. So we're green on this one, but you know, some of my best trades are trades where I jump right back in after getting stopped out, but it's also a risky thing. There we go. Take a little bit more off there. And I'm going to cut the rest there. We made money on the trade. We made money back that we lost on the previous trade. But yeah, guys, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and cut out of here. If you haven't already, again, check out Apex. Cheapest accounts in the game. You can check out Lucid. Lucid has the best rules in a funded account with the Lucid Flex account. So most day traders lose money. And this is a great way to learn when most day traders lose. $15 accounts on Apex, very cheap. Lucid Flex has the best rules once you're actually funded. End of day drawdown. No consistency rule in funded. Great rules. Tradeify has some great options as well. And Take Profit. I don't know if Take Profit sales still going on. I have to look regarding Take Profit. Feds Collins is also speaking right now. Oh wait, so the flash sale on Take Profit was actually extended here, so it ends today at midnight. So if you want to check out Take Profit, here's that link. It's a great way to help support the channel. You can get 50% off, no activation fee on Take Profit right now. So if you've ever wanted a cheap Take Profit account, here's the link. But yeah, I'm probably going to cut it. Although we are starting to break here a little bit. There's the Take Profit link if you want to help support the channel. Use code BGT at checkout. We appreciate the love, guys. Thanks so much. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's a big day. Y'all be ready. nvidia earnings, PCE data, GDP data, and more going live tomorrow. So just be careful today. I don't know what markets are doing. They're starting to flush. Really. Hey, later, chat. Have a great day.